Happy New Year. I have been taking some time to reset, and I'm really excited about what 2021 has in store. I know typically at the top of the year, we spend time making resolutions for the year, but this year I highly encourage you to make goals for your year and to be very intentional about the goals that you make for this year. I have been teaching this class, and last week our session was on goal setting and establishing a clear vision for 2021. And the focus was on setting realistic and unrealistic goals. And it was an amazing session. And when it was over and I closed my laptop and I reflected on it, I realized that I hadn't really been setting realistic goals for myself. Of course, I've been setting goals, but unbeknownst to me, my goals weren't really realistic goals. And so I just wanted to pop on here to take some time to share the difference between a realistic and an unrealistic goal so that we are able to set ourselves up for success going into this new year and to make sure we're very intentional in planning our goals for 2021. So let's get into it. I know typically I put my information on like this little teleprompter app on my phone so that I can just look at the phone and read the information, but it takes too much time. It's stressful. I don't have time for it right now. So I'm going to be looking at my laptop and looking at the camera. Bear with me. Y'all going to be all right. The information is going to be good. I promise. And yeah, so let's get into it. Unrealistic goals represent an objective that is not currently within your reach or your ability. So a goal can be unrealistic if it's unclear or if it's too broad, if you don't have a solid plan to achieve it, if you don't have the necessary resources to achieve it, if you have too many goals, so many that you can't focus on all of them, and if you just don't have the time, the energy, or the skill set available to make your goal happen. These are all reasons that a goal can be unrealistic. So for example, one that really stands out to me is not having a solid plan to achieve your goal. Oftentimes, and this is for me as well, we set goals and we have no plan to achieve the goal and to make it happen. So say for example, if my goal is to lose weight, of course that's a great goal, but it can be an unrealistic goal if I have no plan on how I'm going to lose this weight. So if I want my goal to be realistic, it has to have a plan. I have to have a plan to back it. So my goal can't just be I want to lose weight. What am I going to do? What plan am I going to put in place to actually lose this weight and make it happen? And I'll talk more about that when I start talking more about realistic goals. What else did I want to talk about? Having too many goals, so many that you can't focus on all of them. Oftentimes that makes goals unrealistic for us. We'll have too many goals. We'll want to do this, we'll want to do that, and we want to do that, and our hands are in so many pots that we can't focus on the main thing at hand. So oftentimes we make goals unrealistic for ourselves because we have too many instead of focusing on what really matters for us in this season. And oftentimes when you have too many goals, you end up just kind of tossing them all away because there's so many, you can't focus on just one. So when you're setting your goals, make sure you're very intentional. I keep saying intentional. Make sure you're very intentional about the goal that you're setting, why you're setting it, and making sure you have the just the availability, the energy, and the skill set to focus on the goal that you need to focus on. So your goal becomes realistic when it represents an objective that you are willing and able to work towards. So it becomes realistic when it represents an objective that you are willing and able to work toward. So when you think about realistic goals, here are a few questions to ask yourself. 1, is this goal attainable? 2, what plan do I have in place to achieve this goal? 3, can I achieve it with the resources available to me? 4, does this goal apply to my life and lifestyle? And 5, can this goal be achieved within a realistic time frame? I know in the field of education, we often say that your goal has to be SMART, specific, measurable. I believe the A is for attainable. The R is either relatable or realistic, forgive me. And T is time bound. And I find time is so important when you are trying to set realistic goals. Oftentimes we make goals and we have no time frame in which we want to have the goal achieved. And when you set a goal and you don't really have a time frame attached to it, it kind of gives you the opportunity to forget about it. It gives you the opportunity to be like, yeah, I can try it again next year. It gives you the opportunity to just toss it to the wayside. But when you actually give your goal a time frame, you know, hey, I've set this goal. I want to lose these 10 pounds by June. So you're more inclined to work towards making that goal happen, and therefore it makes it realistic. So some examples of unrealistic goals that I turned into realistic goals are here. So the first goal that I put up that was unrealistic was I will affirm myself. So that's an amazing, amazing goal. But it can be a goal that's unrealistic if it doesn't have a plan attached to it, like I discussed. So to make that goal realistic, you just literally change the wording to your goal to make it more specific, to make it to give it a time frame, and to just make it measurable. So I will affirm myself by writing down one thing that I like about myself daily. So I took that unrealistic goal of I will affirm myself and made it realistic by just basically giving the goal a plan. I will affirm myself by writing down one thing that I like about myself daily. The next unrealistic goal that I had created was I will lose weight. That's a wonderful, wonderful goal, but it can be unrealistic if there is no plan attached to it. So I changed it to make it into a realistic goal by saying by June 1st of 2021, I will have lost 10 pounds by exercising at least 3 to 4 times a week. So I took that unrealistic goal, I gave it a plan, and now it can be realistic because I have something intentional that I can work towards and focus on. And the last goal, unrealistic goal that I thought of was I will save money. Again, another great goal, something we all want to do, but it can be very unrealistic if there's no plan attached to it. So I switched it up and made it realistic by saying by December 31st of 2021, I will have saved X amount of dollars by following and sticking to my monthly budget. So now that unrealistic goal of saving money has become realistic because it has a plan. By the end of the year, I will have saved a certain amount of money because I'm going to be following and sticking to my monthly budget. So those are just ways that you can take unrealistic goals and make them realistic by just making them very, very specific. So that's it. I really hope that this was helpful to you. I am going to include the questions and everything under the video on my website so that you have them, the definitions, the questions, the examples, all that good stuff of how you can make your unrealistic goal realistic. And I really hope this has encouraged you to make realistic goals for 2021. If you need help setting some realistic goals, I don't mind helping. Reach out to me, whether Instagram or our website. You can DM me, however, text me, however, email me, however you feel comfortable, and I don't mind helping at all. So I'm hoping to be back with some more frequently with like little different weekly plugins on ways in which we can just set ourselves up for success in this year. So thank you, Gems, for taking the time to listen to me. I pray this was helpful, and I'll be back soon. Bye.